spicy, mild, or somewhere in the middle. Answering all your questions, so turn it up a little. Is a meat dude, yeah, it's a meat dude, yeah.
Episode 6, my man. We are back in the basement studio down here. I'm Patrick, and this is my friend, the meat dude, Spencer Word. How you been, my man?
Good. How are you doing?
Not too bad,
You were
man.
a lot tanner than the last time we...
I caught some rays down south, man. I got some rays. We took a little trip to do some fishing and some relaxation, and it was a lot of fun. There's no doubt about it. We'll talk a few stories. We'll talk maybe some island meat that was crossing the path. There's a little free range or open range, kind of like New Mexico.
Yeah.
They can just walk around, and it's a little bit crazy. And then we'll get into some question and maybe some Super Bowl talk. But
Cool.
Yeah, first of all, last episode we were talking about the great debate between gas, charcoal, and the smoker, and we got that survey put up on Facebook, so we want you guys to go check it out. Give us your thoughts.
Yeah, and just note that by smoker you mean pellet smoker, not any type of smoker.
Oh,
Pellet smoker.
Okay, maybe I need to change that.
Pellet smoker is the easy bake oven,
oven.
but
Okay.
there's a lot of smokers that are not easy bake ovens.
Yes, that have charcoal, right?
Yeah, or just wood.
Or just wood.
Yeah.
How serious do you want to get? You know.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, I just don't want people. Smokers aren't easy bake ovens, but pellet grills smokers are.
Like the good old
I
Pit
just
Boss
I wanted to make that point.
Yeah, absolutely.
But yeah, go in and vote for whatever you think. It's a good discussion. It's a good thought-provoking question on what people are using in their backyards.
Well, yeah, my wife was like, pretty sure whatever he picks is what I want to pick, because I'm not going to be smoking or cooking anything. That's the whole goal. So if your ladies don't like, or your ladies go out and you're smoking something or grilling something, but you want to take it over, you got to get your votes in there and make that happen.
My wife is probably, in the last couple of years, more versed with the Big Green Egg than I am.
Really?
Yeah, she's kind of taken it over because she enjoys it. It's cooking, right?
Yeah.
But the Big Green Egg is a little more challenging, a little more touchy than an easy bake oven per se,
Yeah.
and she's doing really, really good with it. So.
Oh, that's awesome. That's awesome. Stuff to just turn it on, set the temperature. That's all I'm saying. Like,
And that's why it's so
my
popular.
my vote
That's why
is
everybody's going to
easy
vote for it.
yes.
I get it, but I'm stubborn.
It already is winning.
I'm
at
stubborn.
This point. So yeah, well, yeah, you are a little stubborn, but that's the meat dude has his ways, and that's the way it should go. But yeah, we'll get into a little fishing story. So I was able to go down and do a little deep sea fishing with another couple, and we were able to catch some wahoo and some blackfin tuna. Show you guys a picture here. It was super fun. Huge waves. Went on a wavy day. It was tough going, but what did you think of those fish?
Well, you did send me a picture of 3 different fish, of which, if I recall, you were holding the smallest one, or maybe it was the medium-sized one.
Yeah, the medium one.
And I said your fish isn't as big as your buddy's fish.
Yeah, and I said, unfortunately, mine is the tiny fish that the guide's
That the
holding.
guide
Because
was
I wanted
holding.
to go snake because Jace got the other 2 fish. But either way, it works out.
So you and I have fished around here, just lake trolling, whatever. What's the type of fishing to catch these? Like, are you using jigs? Are you baiting? Are you dumping bait over that? Like, what are you doing to get these fish?
So they had essentially smelt. I was unfamiliar with the name that he said. It was hard to understand the islanders once in a while when they were talking really fast or whatever. Not quite Jamaican, but they were like English.
Yeah.
It's the West Indies or whatever,
Yeah.
British West Indies. And, I mean, huge top. So all the fish feed in the top 8 feet. So you're throwing out, we had 6 different lines, and then it would go, a couple would be toppers, a couple would be a few feet down.
Yeah.
Then you'd throw bait on one. Every once in a while it would take a little bit. We only caught 3 fish in 3-4 hours. He'd be like, one guy'd yell from the top, put on the plug, whatever. And he's like, oh, yeah, everybody give it a kiss, boom, boom, boom. And then all of a sudden, toss it in there and hope that we hit one.
So they're almost like spotting the fish before you even
I actually saw a sailfish jump out. We didn't get it on video, but at that point, I said, "Hey, what's that?" And all of a sudden, the guy from the top, because the captain's up on top, goes, "Sailfish where? Port bound or whatever, port side." And all of a sudden, the guide quick ran over there and grabbed the thing. We tried to like turn this thing, and
so are you always actively moving? Like, is the boat actively?
Yeah, faster than I thought too.
Yeah.
Very
so you're almost like
speed.
trolling, but
very and he would go up and in out of these big waves and then kind of zigzag. So we were really bringing those lines and fishing these other areas. I didn't.
Sounds
get to
like a tangled mess.
It wasn't. So they had giant downriggers on the side of the boat that they would like pulley up their lines to keep them out.
Oh, yeah.
And then if some guy, if we were catching one, he'd quick go over there and, make sure you'd get him out of the way.
That's cool.
Yeah, it was a really cool experience. Definitely not lake fishing in North
Dakota.
No,
that's why it's so intriguing. Because, I mean,
fun,
there's some aspects of it that is the same, right?
Yeah.
I mean, you're still using jigs. They're just ginormous jigs.
Huge hooks,
and you're still using, you're still using bait, whatever that bait is.
Yeah, it was a smelt. It was a weird feeder fish, essentially. It was, 8 to 10 inches long and already killed.
But, like, how deep was the water that you were on?
7,000 feet or
like
something stupid like that. It was like right off of the reef. So we, this boat basically had 2 jet engines in it, big diesel. Take off, and we drove through the break in the reef, and all of a sudden he goes, "Yeah, now every 1,000 or 100 feet we'll drop another 1,000 feet or something like that." And I was thinking, don't drop anything out of the boat. Right?
So how were the waves?
The waves got a little out of hand. So it was a windier day. They were like, "Hey, all your sea legs, whatever, everything's great." Everyone was like, "Oh, we got this. So, I mean, as it went on, it just kept going and going, and we got out to the side of the island where the waves were actually coming this way and that way, and I'll show you guys a picture or a video of me calling the dolphins. So I got done catching my fish, and my stomach was already starting to churn. I was just barely keeping it together. Everyone else was like holding it. My buddy who caught a fish right away went and grabbed a beer and slammed one. That's what we were going to do. We were going to be all
as
like,
soon as you
let's have beer or fish, let's do this. And then all of a sudden, he was like burping on the second fish, and we were like, "Whoa, this may be a bad idea." And all of a sudden, I'm cranking in the tuna. My adrenaline was like just hot, and I just asked the guy. I was like, "So where do you puke in here?" And he goes, "What do you mean?" I was like, "I mean, where do you puke in here?" And he goes, "Right over there." And then he brought like the girls over here and started talking about something else, so no one would see me like puking. And the minute I look up from just hot sweats of nastiness, there's dolphins swimming all over the place. So it was really cool to be able to know that I know how to call in dolphins, which is kind of fun. So
did the guide say that's like common when somebody throws up, dolphins show up?
No, not at all.
So that was unique.
That was
I thought maybe unique. They like smell it and they're like, ooh, something to eat.
No, it had nothing to do with it. So when we got back to the dock, the one guide was like, "I've never seen a guy hold the boat that long or whatever." And I was like, "Oh, whatever. I was calling them the dolphins." And the one, they were joking like, yeah, whatever.
That's funny.
Yeah, you northerners or whatever, landers. So that was a lot of fun. But we got to catch wahoo and black tuna. Pretty much ate that almost every day from then on out. Still had to buy some New York strips, so that was kind of fun to
have some surf and turf.
Yeah, I don't know. I love fish and everything, but it's tough to beat a steak.
So when you brought these fish in, did they butcher it for you?
Yeah,
they clean it, they fillet it, they get everything ready for you.
The interesting thing about it, the wahoo, he did not kill. He just stuck right into the freezer. But the blackfin tuna, he said we need to cut because if they put them in there, they'll heat themselves up and make the meat go bad. So that was kind of interesting.
So like they bled them out, you mean?
Basically what we do with walleyes, just cut them, threw them right into the, not in a live well, but just frozen. Basically a big cooler. Yeah, so that was really interesting to know that would have happened if we were just like Yahoo's out fishing.
They'll sit in there and flop for a long time, essentially. Right?
Yeah, so you just whoosh.
Like even though they're not in water, they'll still live for a while.
Yep. So essentially, like with any animal, when you're bow hunting,
it's like when you catch a bullhead and take it out of the water and it lives for like 6 hours.
Yeah.
And you're like, what is going on?
Yeah, like this could be possibly an amphibious or it could be a fish or whatever. You just never know. But yeah, either way, it was a really good time. Obviously, fishing at any point, whether you catch something or not, I'm all for it.
It was fun.
Yeah, all fun. All fun and games. And then you even got to snorkel a little bit and see a turtle at the end of the whole deal. So that was a lot of fun. But was really interesting, though. While driving around the island, there are essentially free-range cows. There was some in the airport fence, because Lord knows that's where they're keeping some of the cows. And then when we came around the corner, we'd have to stop, just like this, where there would be a cow in the middle of the road, which I thought was really crazy. Reminded me of when I lived in New Mexico, where like the cows have more rights than people. Like you could probably hit a guy in a car and they'd probably give you less crap than the rancher would have did take out his cow. That's just a joke, just for everybody. But I mean, it's kind of hit or miss. But thought that was really interesting.
Well, I mean, the size of the island, they probably don't have a lot of pasture land, so the cows just hang out.
Yeah, they don't
eat where they can, and
they don't look like big old
scavengers.
North Dakota cows. Yeah, absolutely not. I mean, there's plenty of grass growing there, but I'm assuming the nutrients are not what they're looking for in terms of that. But yeah, you go to the store and wahoo's $12.99 a pound and strips are $25.99 a pound, just because of obviously all the different stuff that goes along with that. But that was a lot of fun to have all those different things. But whenever you go somewhere, you always want to try local out. So you're always, even if that local looks a little suspect, but I can assure you with enough Lowry's it was tasty.
Well, I can assure you that the picture of the steak you sent me when you were grilling did not come from the animal that you just showed on the podcast.
Okay, that would be the meat. Send it straight. You don't think I was like out there?
Well, that was a dairy animal that you took a picture of, right? That was a Holstein.
Just so you guys
You're
know,
from New Salem. That's a Holstein. You should know what a Holstein looks like. And their strip loins look a little different than the ones you sent a picture of.
I knew that was about to happen because I have really no clue what I'm talking about on this podcast, and it just goes to show you that that's why just here to provide a little
have
relief.
Conversation.
Yeah, some guy to talk to.
And clearly call in dolphins.
Yeah, I
impressive.
have a new special talent. I mean, I can call in dolphins.
Just go throwing up in all the seas and see what shows up, because whatever you got going on must be special.
Oh, I must have it was that Jimmy Dean's breakfast burrito. I was like, let's just quick get one of those things we can quick pop in, nuke it. Yeah, that'd be great. And then sit on a boat with like 50-foot waves on it. It wasn't that high, but there was at least at one point waves that way out there that were way above the horizon line, and you're just like,
hope we don't hit those.
Yeah, so it got a little shaky there at that point. But let's get into some questions. You want some questions, my man? Let's do it.
Sure.
Spicy, mild, or somewhere in the middle. Answering all your questions, so turn it up a little. Is a meat dude. Yeah, it's a meat dude. Yeah.
All right, so question number 1, man, Isaac. Is there a reason some smoked products are not cured? Example, prime ribs, brisket, sometimes pulled pork at home, while others are. Ham, brats, bacon, pork loins, etc. I haven't been able to find a reason. Maybe I'm doing it wrong, but it seems to be industry standard wherever I've worked, as well as smoking it at home or at a friend's place. So what comes to mind, my man?
Yeah, so you kind of got to bring into the mindset of tradition.
Okay.
On the way things have always been done. So, I mean, the items that Isaac brought up, ham, bacon, snack sticks, brats, ring sausage, whatever, that's just normally associated with curing. Now, when we're talking about prime rib, pork ribs, brisket, those are normally associated with cooking and eating as a hot item, but you're starting to see in today's world where companies are cooking them, chilling them down, and then packaging it as a cold product for you to take home and reheat. I'm kind of guessing.
Make it easier for the world.
I'm kind of guessing that's where this question is coming from.
Yep.
And so then you got to kind of ask yourself is what does cure do to a product? Does a lot of things, and if you go back to episode 2, we kind of I think 1 or 2, whatever.
It's cool.
You'll have to watch them all, figure it out. We kind of dive into the science of what cure does, but the big picture things is color stabilization, and then one thing that we probably didn't talk about on that episode is the flavor change that it does to a product, both on a cooked and on a reheated basis. So when you cook steak and you don't eat it all and you put it in the fridge and you reheat it the next day, does it taste drastically different?
Yes.
Yeah, so that is the scientific term of warmed over flavor. Okay, so what cure does is stops that warmed over flavor from happening because it stabilizes a lot of things. We already talked about color, but it also kind of stabilizes the fatty acids, and that is what is usually giving that off-putting flavor is the fatty acids that is encompassed in meat. But it so drastically changes the color and flavor of the product that marketability of something that's cured, like cured prime rib, a normal person eating cured prime rib would be like, this isn't prime rib, this isn't what I signed up for. Same thing with brisket. Actually, cured brisket is called corned beef, and that's a totally different dish.
Completely different, yeah.
So that's, and there's other things that you can add. So anything that's pre-cooked and like just reheat and eat, there's always going to be functional ingredients in that product to try to minimize that warmed over flavor. And there's actually certain cuts that come out of beef that have been researched that show the least amount of warmed over flavor. One of them being the shoulder clod, which is right next to the brisket. And I'm not 100% sure what the research says on brisket, but one would assume that the warmed over flavor isn't as potent as, say, ribeye or strip loin or something from the higher side of the beef.
For sure, yeah.
But yeah, I think that's kind of what it comes down to. It so drastically changes the product that it creates its own product, like corned beef. You're not going to call it smoked, cured brisket. It's just corned beef, whereas cooked brisket, chilled down rapidly and then reheated when you're at home, is just smoked brisket. We used to at a different plant prior to I was at 6-in-1, we did a lot of pulled pork that we'd throw, a couple 100 pounds of pork butts into the smokehouse, smoke them, shred them, chill it as shredded pork, and then package it up and just sell it as, reheat and serve pulled pork. There's still, we tried to keep it as quote unquote clean label as possible. Essentially all we did was put salt, pepper, and garlic on it just to add some flavor. But there was definitely some warmed overness that you could pick up on. Most people just put barbecue sauce on their pulled pork anyways, so you don't really get that crazy amount of warmed over flavor. But the warmed over sensation flavor is so intriguing. Like, my wife won't even eat leftover steaks.
Really?
Because that flavor just bothers her so much.
It's really funny you say that, because a lot of times I'll take a lot of those chunks and put them in like eggs.
Yeah.
And it's like, you almost kind of taste, you eat it because it's
steak. Yeah, you're not going to just throw it away or give it to the dog. You're going to eat it, but it ain't going to be as good as it was the night before. So yeah, I kind of didn't directly answer that, but in a roundabout way it did. It's just kind of a interesting concept, and probably 40, 50 years ago nobody was thinking about trying to cook something and have somebody at home reheat it. That's just not the way things were done. But in this fast-paced world that we live in, and nobody has time to cook dinner anymore, and blah blah blah, these types of products continue to show up. And you're not trying to change the product of what a customer has in their head of what smoked brisket's supposed to be. You're just trying to make their life easier.
Yeah. Wow. Give them that same flavor.
Give them that same flavor, same texture, same color, all of that. So yeah, that's kind of the biggest reason that I think that you're not going to see those types of products cured.
Well, it's interesting when you talk about tradition on how things are always done. It's like the old story of why we always made this dish in 2 pans. Well, we went back far enough. I think this was Emily's grandma. We went back far enough. Well, they used 2 pans because the oven was too small. Otherwise, they would have put it in 1 pan.
But now the ovens are bigger,
like
so
their
now you
aunts were
can.
like, we got to do it in 2 pans. That's the way Grandma and Grandpa
Right.
did it. And
That's
it's
so
like,
funny.
no, nobody asked the question, what the hell do you do in 2 pots or 2 pans?
But then you take that dish and you make it in 1 pan, and I bet it's different.
Yeah, probably.
You know?
Probably.
I could talk hours on types of cooking utensils and how it so drastically changes the product. I'm just talking pots and pans. Man.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
Really?
Yeah. Especially in the baking world. Obviously, I'm not a baking person. I'm a meat guy.
Mm-hmm.
But, you know, any casserole or anything, whether you're using a glass pan or a, you know, ceramic pan or, you know, it
So
just
what's your
changes
go-to
everything.
then? Like what? I mean,
Depends on
what would
the
be
product.
ideal?
Depends
Okay.
on the product because
There's an ideal
you know
pan, it's
you
kinda
have
like a
you
wine
have so
and a meat
right. So
pairing?
like if your pan is you know, like a ceramic bowl or a cast iron pan, those retain heat so much differently than a glass pan.
Mm-hmm.
So you know, and when people always say you know, what's the recipe, and then you look back and you find your great grandma's recipe and it says to cook it in for this long.
Mm-hmm.
Well, you know, she forgot to mention that she used this size of pan or this type of pan,
Yeah.
or she was using, you know, I think ovens have, well, you just said that ovens have changed so much
Yeah,
in the
you
last
fit more
40,
in or-
50 years.
yeah,
It's just
double
convection
ovens,
oven
yeah.
versus
Yeah.
normal oven, or
Yeah.
I think there's just so many variables that change. They're not going to ruin the product, right? But it's going to change the consistency and flavor of that product based on pan size, oven type. There's so many variables.
It's crazy.
It's almost a
because-
rabbit hole.
Yeah.
But that's where my mind's at all the time.
Yeah, it blows my mind every time we go over this stuff because like there's just so much more than adding heat
Yeah.
and eating. Like I have
But
that. I have that mindset.
you
coming
can
in.
have
You
that
can.
mindset, and sometimes I wish I did because I overanalyze
You
this
could
stuff.
just eliminate
But
all the
that's
waste.
my life, right?
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
I kind of have to on the meat basis
Yeah.
overanalyze everything.
Yeah.
But yeah, we just bought stainless steel pans.
Okay.
That's a game changer.
So you gotta spray them. I mean, you spray everything.
Yeah,
but
it's the heat retention and
do you have
the
gas.
no,
Stove?
just electric.
Electrics? Okay.
Electric. The first time we did a lot of research before we bought this
Okay.
on how to use them.
Yeah.
First time I cooked eggs and it smoked the whole house out. Bad.
So what'd you
Because
do
it was
now?
one of those deals where my wife's like, "You sure you don't want any help?" And I'm like, "I looked this up.
got
I know what
this,
I'm
man."
doing." I was cooking eggs. I was
dude.
cooking
Yeah.
eggs for breakfast. Smoke out the whole kitchen. I think it was a Sunday morning. We went to church. Came back from church. Still smoky.
You're just making eggs.
Yeah, but these pans, they retain heat so well, and once they're hot for a long time.
Mm-hmm.
So you can't consistently keep high heat on them.
Mm-hmm.
Like once you get it to that point, you got to mellow it off a little bit, and that pan will just carry you through. And yeah, using oil and butter, and which I use
But
butter with.
still,
everything.
you're gonna get hot, and then it'll just saute
Yeah,
and get like
yeah.
crispy.
Cooking a steak in it was awesome.
Really?
It was the best sear that I've been able to accomplish. Better than cast iron, personally, that
Okay.
I've been able to accomplish. I know somebody that's really good cooking in cast iron can make an awesome sear on a steak. But that stainless steel pan cooking, we cooked New York strips. And again, a lot of research before I was about to ruin a steak. Mind you, this is negative 20 outside, so we wanted steak, and I'm not going to go outside when it's negative 20
Right.
and cook on my grill.
I gotta
So,
deal with what I got.
right,
Yeah.
so I was cooking a stovetop, and it was awesome.
Yeah, that's really interesting to be able to hold that heat, so you can't just go. So, did you sear it at the beginning, or did you do like a reverse
No,
sear?
sear it right away.
Okay,
Yeah,
sear
so
it.
you preheat the pan. You do a little water droplet test. Make sure that it doesn't either go, or what does it need? It balls up and then just rolls around the pan. That's when you know it's hot enough.
The water droplets.
The water droplets
Wouldn't it
form
be
into
hot
little
enough
balls.
They would steam, so there's like the.
No, steam is too cold.
Okay.
Yeah. So if you throw it in the pan and it just goes, psh, that's too cold. You need a little hotter than these little balls. They form little balls and they roll around the pan.
Interesting.
Just look it up, man.
No, I will. I'll
Go
have to now. Absolutely. That's cool.
Put a little oil on it. Set the steak down, and the steak like sticks to the pan. and you just let it, you don't touch it, and you let it render some of the fat out of it, and then as soon as like you know you have a good sear is when that steak is loose, and flip it, sear, it sticks immediately when you flip it over, let it come loose, and then that was pretty much it. It was done.
Well, yeah, you eat them a brown medium, don't you? Somewhere around there.
It was closer to rare than the better for me.
Yeah.
Which that was the toughest part because I overcooked them a little bit because I'm like, I want this sear to be perfect, and so I ended up overcooking them.
Well, yeah, if you get them too deep, then it'll. Yeah.
It was fun.
Yeah.
So yeah, again, reiterating on the fact, pans, methods of cooking.
It's
There's 100 different options, 100 different ways to do it.
And that's why we're gonna have 100 different episodes at least. We'll figure it out.
Yeah.
At least. Cool.
We can talk about every type of pan. From
Yeah, absolutely. Well, this week is Super Bowl Sunday. A lot of things go into Super Bowl. I was looking at different things to talk about, the number of hot dogs and the number of nachos and the number of all the things that go into like Super Bowl are just like stupid and like
at the
millions.
venue, you mean?
Yeah. Or just what people consume at their house with all these parties. I still, if the government's listening, we should have Super Bowl Monday an actual national holiday. That's just my whole thing. But
I'm still gonna work.
Yeah, well, yeah, I'm gonna get it off, or the government people will get it off.
Yeah,
yay!
and then I'll have to pay them to be at the shop. So let's not.
So, Seahawks or Patriots? Do you got a dog in the fight? No. I'm really hoping for them Seahawks to win.
Yeah, they got
the Patriots.
Well, it's a different Patriots team though. It's not the Patriots team that we grew up
Robert
hating.
Kraft. Yeah, right. I think it's universal, right? Like, there's a lot of people that eventually just started hating him more and more as
because they were so successful.
Yeah,
let's
absolutely.
be honest.
No,
but it's a different team. I like their young quarterback. I think he's fun to watch. I'm a more of a fan of individuals than teams as a whole.
Okay.
But I can for sure tell you I'm not a Packers fan.
That
is 100%.
That's come out pretty.
There's some NDSU alum that play for the Seahawks, so that's
Zabel. Left guard or right guard there. Yeah.
There might be one more too.
It could be. I haven't.
But yeah, I mean that's cool.
Yeah.
So obviously I got to root for those guys.
Yeah.
So I mean, if I had to pick, I'm gonna go Seahawks.
All right. Well, that's good. If Darnold wins, he can really stick it to the Vikings. That'll be that's like the cherry on top. I think of the whole deal.
What a scenario!
I think it's very Vikings-esque. I mean, it's not as low as the Browns, but they are there. And I like it. I like it a lot. So, when it comes to Super Bowl parties, what's the first food you're thinking? Is there something that's like the staple of the word Super Bowl?
Not really. Last couple of years and probably this year too, I'm probably just gonna smoke some chicken wings on the Big Green Egg.
Right on.
It's quick and easy. The Super Bowl is the television broadcast probably starts at like 3:00 in the afternoon.
Forever, yeah.
And it's on a Sunday, so by the time you get home from church, it's like, well, I got 2 hours to prep something.
Yeah.
Ain't gonna be doing anything too crazy. Chicken, and it's usually cold.
Yeah.
But this year looks like it's going to be relatively nice. So, just that. Probably chicken wings. Beef-wise, again, something more snacky than a full-out meal comes to mind. Like I've done some, over the years, I've done poor man's burnt ends before.
Okay.
I've done just
Explain
like steak
that to
bites.
Me. What are poor man's?
It's essentially just taking a chuck roast instead of cooking it whole down into shredded beef. You just in the middle of the cook, you take it and cut it into little chunks, put it in a pan with sauce, and then you create little bite-sized pieces of melt in your mouth deliciousness. It's called poor man's burnt ends because burnt ends are usually made out of brisket, which is really expensive in today's world. So chuck roast is cheaper, hence the name poor man's burnt ends.
I like it.
You got that. I mean, really, that's all that comes to mind. Nothing too fancy. Nothing that takes a lot of energy and time. Just something quick and easy.
Yeah, absolutely. Getting some hamburger, put in some queso, like melt down the Velveeta and the sour cream and throw in the meat and just have a gut bomb by halftime.
Well, I was gonna say,
Like,
you'll be feeling for the next 2 days.
Absolutely, yeah. So, is there anything else that comes to mind when it comes to meat? I think Super Bowl, there's just so many different things that you could do, large parties, large things, but I've never gone and someone went like all out, like brisket and like
Super Bowl is so just snacky foods usually. It's never like a full out meal, but like charcuterie boards, of course, in my line of work are huge this time of year. Summer sausage and salamis and everything else that, whether the meat processor creates the board for you or you're buying bulk and then just making it at home, I could devour a charcuterie board in about a quarter.
That's right. Next, bring it in. Yeah.
What's the next meat flavor you got? Yeah.
No,
but other than that, that's about it.
Yeah, pretty straightforward when it comes to the Super Bowl. It'll be sad when football's over, but then we'll find something else to do. The Olympics, actually. The Olympics are coming on.
Basketball.
Cool. Basketball, I'm cool with that. Absolutely.
You're like the biggest college basketball fan I know.
I am not that big a one, but if I might be the biggest one that doesn't necessarily say
I don't know.
I know one person. I'm not going at that point. But yeah, March Madness will be coming up. That's always fun, watching a lot of b-ball, and I always got plenty of food and different stuff going around there. But yeah, other than that, we'll just want to close up. Had talked fishing, talked meats on an island, talked a little tradition on how we do things or used to do things, how to cook some things. Yeah, the whole stainless steel pots and pans. It's a new
game changer, man.
New game changer, man. You got all these things to change my whole world up. It's just gotta do some research, and the whole water droplets thing is.
I'll send you a video the next.
Yeah, I'm kind of excited because you would think that cold would be the droplets and steam would be the too hot.
It's got something to do with the old stainless steel.
I like it.
Reaction.
The old properties of the thing, that'll be fun to look at. But other than that, askthemeatdude@gmail.com. Check out our survey on Facebook. Check out our latest episode coming out on Friday the 6th here. That'll be just tomorrow morning, and we'll kick it off. And I'm Patrick. And that's Spencer, a.k.a. the Meat Dude. And
that sure smells good. Firing it up in the backyard, cracking one. It's time to chill. From the ranch to the steak, take it from the farm and put it on your plate. It's the Meat Dude, yeah. It's the Meat Dude, yeah. All the degrees from university, bringing science in on how hot it's supposed to be. It's the Meat Dude, yeah. It's the Meat Dude, yeah. Spicy, mild, or somewhere in the middle. Answering all your questions, so turn it up a little. It's the Meat Dude, yeah. It's the Meat Dude, yeah.